Hey guys, what's up? Good evening. Welcome back. Welcome back to another live stream. There you go. Hello. From Charlotte. From the beautiful city of Charlotte in North Carolina. How are you guys doing today? Good? Where are you guys at? Let me know, please. Drop a comment down below and also let me know, please, what stocks you guys want me to go over. Hello from Atlanta. There you go. What's up? Jeev and Panda. We are like, what, 3 hours away from each other? Whenever you visit Charlotte, please let me know. Yeah, we can hang out, bro. We can have a beer. Yeah, I'll show you around. Las Vegas, the racial 21. I haven't been to Vegas. Yeah, that's on the very top of my to-do things. Yeah, I gotta go. San Marcos, Texas. Texas is very beautiful. I've been to Austin. No, sorry. I've been to San Antonio, a very beautiful city. Phoenix City, Alabama, Florida, Mario. Lucky enough, the hurricane is behind us, right? Yeah. The media made a mountain out of a molehill, it seems. But that's good news, right? They were saying that the hurricane, what was the name of the hurricane? Milton. That the Hurricane Milton was going to be a Category 5, which, guys, a Category 5 hurricane, that's not a hurricane. That's an earthquake. That is an earthquake. And lucky enough, the media, they really exaggerated the situation of the hurricane. Lucky enough. We are glad they did, right? And at the end of the day, it wasn't actually a big deal. Okay, so I already have some requests over here from the Good Buddy, T-Money, Spy, Tessie, Nvda, Uber. We're South Florida, so not even a drop. Thank God. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Heather from Ohio. Hi, Heather. How's your cat doing? Good? Nvda, of course. We will go over Nvda. And in the meantime, guys, keep dropping comments and let me know what stocks you guys want me to go over. Good. Okay. Thank God. All right. Palantir, Manuel is requesting Palantir. Awesome. Okay, guys. So what happened today? I mean, pretty much nothing. Let's take a look at the closing of the main indices. The S&P 500 went down 0.21%. The Dow Jones went down 0.14%. The Nasdaq pretty much closed flat, down 0.05%. And the Russell 2000 went down 0.69%. So we had a red day. We can make a case across the board when it comes to the indices. But if we take a look at the 11 sectors that trade inside the S&P 500, and I will keep insisting on this, guys. You really need to get familiar with the 11 sectors that trade inside the S&P 500. You have to do it. Remember, the SPY, which happens to be an ETF that you guys are trading day in and day out, is an ETF that tracks the S&P 500. And inside the S&P 500, we have 11 sectors trading. And take a look at what happened today, guys. Out of the 11 sectors that trade inside the S&P 500, only 2 sectors went up. Energy, up 0.71%, and materials, which went up 0.20%. Other than these two sectors, the other sectors, the other 9 sectors that trade inside the S&P 500 went down. That implies that we had a day of weakness across the board, other than the fact that the 4 major indices closed in negative territory. Does that imply that tomorrow we're going to see a big drop in the markets, and I don't know, that the markets are going to collapse from now on because I don't know, because the CPI data report came out a bit hotter than expected. Not necessarily, but today we saw a bit of weakness across the board in the markets. However, if we take a look at a 4-hour chart of the SPY, of the ETF, of the S&P 500, take a look at this chart, guys. Take a look. Remember, the moving averages that I use are the 200, 100, 50, 20, and lastly, 5-day moving average. These are daily moving averages. Take a look at every single one of these moving averages. Take a look at the slope that they are showing as of now. They are upward sloping. And the SPY, let me see, yesterday made a brand new hit a brand new all-time highs. There is absolutely nothing wrong with this tape. Zero. And I was telling you guys today, by the way, that as long as Nvda remains trading above 130, I mean, there's not really much room to the downside here, guys. When it comes to the SPY, this is the leader of the markets, guys. The main leader of the markets. If Nvda goes down, then we can make a case that the general sentiment of the markets sour, and we start to see downwards pressure. And as of now, Nvda looks super bullish, and it looks like it might be heading up to all-time highs once again. But I will go over Nvda once again in a few minutes. So circling back to the SPY, guys, nothing wrong with this chart. We have seen like zero volatility, and that's a reason why I haven't been that active in our Discord chat. Because to be honest with you guys, I have been trading individual stocks, and I haven't. I haven't traded the SPY in, I don't know, in 2 weeks. I don't want to be forcing trades in the SPY, you know, with these kind of narrow ranging trading sessions, super close to all-time highs. So I don't think this is the best tape in order to be trading the SPY, right? Other than that, guys, the SPY is in an uptrend above all the moving averages. There is absolutely nothing wrong with this tape. And this tape is signaling higher prices for the SPY. But can we see a bit of downwards pressure over here? Can we even, you know, get some puts in the SPY? Yeah, but we need to see sellers showing some sort of strength here. Like, for example, being able to break the 5-day moving average, the 5 DMA, to the downside. So say that tomorrow they open the session, I don't know, at 575. Say that we see a bit of downward pressure once the trading session opens, and say that the 5-day moving average is broken to the downside. We're talking about, or we're looking as of now at, when it comes to the level that matches with the 5 DMA, we are talking about $573.50. If this moving average happens to be broken to the downside, maybe, you know, we can see sellers getting a bit more excited over here. And maybe if the 5 DMA is broken to the downside, the next important support would be the 20 DMA, 20-day moving average, at $569.70. But as long as the SPY remains trading above the 5 DMA, the upward sloping, I should add, 5 DMA, I mean, I am staying away from this tape, guys. This is not an ETF that I am interested in trading in the, or let's say given the current conditions, okay? But nothing wrong with the tape, guys. And you know, and most of you guys keep an eye on my channel in Discord. If we happen to see volatility picking up and the SPY starts to pull back and the SPY starts to break important levels of support, I am going to be very active in Discord, letting you guys know the areas of interest that you need to keep in mind in order to trade the SPY to either the upside or the downside. But take a look at this technical chart, guys. Unbelievable. The trend is your friend. until she throws your shit out the window. So for the time being, there's zero reason in order to share the SPY. That's it. And there goes your SPY analysis. Let me take over here a sip of coffee. And let's start with some individual stocks. AMD, it got killed today, guys. Yeah, advanced micro devices. So the session was going good for AMD, but then, I don't know, some random event that they held today kicked off. And I think that Lisa Su, the CEO of AMD, stated that the total addressable market for data centers is going to be $500 billion in 2028. The second Lisa Su said that, the CEO of AMD, the stock started to tank, like in a super aggressive fashion. Why? Because $500 billion, guys, as the total addressable market for data centers in 2028, that doesn't match the current enthusiasm and hype for artificial intelligence. So the markets didn't like that at all, and the stock tanked. Okay, so at the end of the day, AMD went down 4%, and it closed the trading session at $164.18. And I think that Nvda closed in positive territory. If I am not mistaken, let me see. We saw a decent amount of semiconductor stocks going up today, guys. Yeah, Nvda went up today. I think that Micron had a good day. Look. Yeah, Micron went up 3.92%. I think that Qualcomm also went up. So this isn't positive, guys, at all. I mean, Qualcomm went down only 1%. I think that Broadcom did go up. Let me double check on that. So this shows, guys, I mean, Broadcom closed pretty much flat. In a day in which we saw most of the most known semiconductor stocks going up, the fact that the opposite happened with AMD is obviously a signal of weakness. So that isn't positive at all. So let me pull up once again here a 4-hour chart of AMD. And as of now, guys, take a look. AMD almost paid a visit down to the 20-day moving average at $161. This is the next important level, or the next important potential level of support for AMD. And take a look at how this 20-day moving average, let me zoom in here. So yeah, I mean, AMD found support here at $161. And this is pretty much a previous level of resistance for AMD back from early October. So between 162 and 161, we have a previous level of resistance back from early October, and a bit below that previous level of resistance, we have an upward sloping 20-day moving average. So this is a spot at which AMD could be potentially finding support at if it keeps dropping tomorrow. But again, the fact that this stock went down in a day in which most of the well-known, let's just put it that way, semiconductor stocks went up, that is signaling in the wrong direction. Let me pull up here anchor VWAPs in the case of AMD. Let me see. AMD, what do we got here? While I take another sip of coffee. It's been a long day for me here, guys. Take a look, guys. Take a look at this AVWAP, this anchored volume weighted average price line that I am pointing out with my mouse. So this is an anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs, from the all-time highs of AMD. AMD hit $226 back in mid-March of this year. So the average market participant that started a position on AMD back in early March of this year, as of now, has an average price of $161. How about that, huh? So this is a very interesting level, guys, in order to see if AMD can bounce back up from here. And why? Well, because between 162 and 161, we have the convergence of a previous level of resistance plus the upward sloping 20-day moving average, and plus, or aside from that, we have another convergence relative to the anchored volume weighted average price line that comes from the all-time highs of AMD. This is a very important level of potential demand or support for AMD at $161 approximately. Say that, I don't know, tomorrow we keep seeing profit taken in AMD, it could happen. Say that AMD breaks the 20 DMA to the downside, this would be super negative. In that case, the door opens for a test of the 100 DMA 100-day moving average at $155. So I would be expecting some sort of bounce from this level, from this zone, 161, 162. But if the opposite happens and the 20-day moving average is broken to the downside, keep an eye on 155 for potential support. And this could be a short trade, guys. We could be grabbing puts if we see AMD breaking 160 to the downside. And the best case scenario would be AMD recapturing the 5-day moving average, $170. And many of you guys have watched my live streams before. In the case of the 5-day moving average, the 5 DMA, I use that moving average in order to determine who is in control of a minor time frame or who is in control of minor time frames. When I am talking about who, I am talking about buyers or either buyers or sellers. So if AMD happens to recapture $170, again, the 5-day moving average, this would open the door for another push higher, and maybe AMD could be trying to fill this gap up to $175 again. And by the way, AMD failed right at this level, $175 in yesterday's trading session. Let me take a look at another anchor VWAP. Let's see. So this is the year-to-date anchor VWAP. Yeah, a year-to-date anchor VWAP in the case of AMD, guys. So an anchor VWAP that comes from the first trading session of this year is signaling as of now $164. So say that we start a trade on AMD above this level, guys, that I just told you about, 162. From $162 up to $165. This could be the trade, guys. From $162 up to $165, which by the way happens to be a previous level of resistance. We're looking at a 2% profit trade, pretty much. And if we take a look at the market structure of advanced micro devices, what do we see here? Let's see. AMD. Hey, by the way, guys, so we have the Robo Fiasco presentation tonight. I guess that most of you guys are aware of that. So the event kicks off at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. What do you think is going to happen to Tessie tonight once Elon introduces to the world the Robo Fiasco or the robo-taxi? What do you think is going to happen with Tessie into tomorrow's trading session? Let me know. Please drop a comment down below because I am about to go over Tessie. Okay, take a look. This is a market structure chart. So what we see on top of this chart is the demand, buyers, and at the bottom is the supply. When I say demand, I am talking about this blue shaded region that I am pointing out with my mouse. And in the case of the supply or sellers, I am talking about this purple shaded region that I am pointing out with my mouse. So take a look at the market structure of AMD. The demand was dropping, but it's trying to, stabilize over here. And the supply is kind of going down. And the level of the demand, so the level of buyers in minor time frames, is higher relative to the level of the supply or to the level of sellers. So this is a market structure that looks somehow positive, okay? Because ideally we want to see the demand going up, okay? And above the level of the supply. So this market structure makes me believe that the likelihood for a test of this potential zone of support between 161 and 162 could be a successful one. So I think that initially the likelihood for AMD to bounce back up from 161, 162 is high. Okay, if we actually happen to see a test of this level, and there goes your AMD analysis. Maybe a short spike, then drop back to the downside. Good body, T-Money. It has hype. If the DoorDash rumor is real. Okay. Let me ask you something, guys. Say that Tesla wants to, they want to do it. But, okay, so Elon is going to present today. It's going to be introducing to the world the robo-taxi. Say that we actually see the vehicle. A brand new model. It is going to be a brand new model, right? How long is it going to take for Tesla to be able to actually have those robo-taxis running all over the place? Have you guys think about that? How long is it going to take? When are those robo-taxis going to be running everywhere? 6 months? 1 year? 2 years? A long time. Yeah, this Tesla event is going to be very, but very interesting, guys. 2 or 3 years. And the valuation of Tesla is super expensive, guys. So Elon is obviously going to try to, to pump up the stock tonight. But the markets are going to ask him, okay, but show me the money. Show me the money. What is the money at? 2 years out? 3 years out? Tonight is gonna be fun. Let's just put it. let's just put it that way. Okay, let me go over another stock. Microsoft, Mr. Softy. Let me go over MSFT. There it is. Okay, Microsoft. It went down today 0.39%, and it closed the trading session at $415.84. Guys, this is not a good looking chart. So Microsoft, as of now, is hanging on a thread here, guys. Take a look below the 100, the 20, the 50, and take a look at the 200-day moving average. The bulls tried to recapture today both the 50 and the 200-day moving average, and they couldn't do it. And as of now, they are barely, but I need to emphasize this, they are barely holding this white line as support. Remember that this white line happens to be the 5 DMA, the 5-day moving average. This chart looks crappy, looks ugly, and if Microsoft happens to open the trading session tomorrow below this 5-day moving average, so below $414, I think that we have a retest of $404 coming up more likely than not. This is a very ugly looking chart. And by the way, the earnings report of Microsoft is coming up soon on the 22nd. Yep. So the trade, in my opinion, a short-term trade over here is like super clear, at least from where I sit. So say that Mr. Softy opens the session tomorrow above the convergence of the 50 and the 200-day moving average. So sorry, guys. So say that Microsoft opens the trading session and can close candles and consolidate above $418, so above the 2 moving averages that I just told you. Then I think that we have upside potential here, probably up to the 20 DMA, $425. If we happen to be able to take this trade the way that I am describing it over here, from $418 up to the 20 DMA, we're looking at a 1.68% profit trade. Nothing to sneeze at, because we're talking about 10 points in the case of Microsoft. However, on the flip side, say that MSFT opens the session slightly above $414, and we see all of a sudden we see the Qs going down and Nvda going down and downwards pressure. If Microsoft breaks this 5-day moving average to the downside, I am talking about $414, I would be grabbing puts here. No doubt about it, because in that case, guys, I think that a retest of $404, which happens to be a previous level of support back from early September, is in the cards, in my opinion. Let me pull up here. Anchor VWAPs to see where do we see buyers trapped at. In the case of Mr. Softy, Microsoft. Take a look, guys. This Anchor VWAP, this AVWAP or anchored volume weighted average price line that I am pointing out with my mouse comes from the first trading session of the year. So what is or what information is this Anchor VWAP telling us? Well, that the average market participant that started a position on Microsoft since the first or from the first trading session of the year has an average price as of now of guess what, guys? $414. This is a major level for Microsoft. So this Anchor VWAP reinforces my idea that below $414, this stock is a short. More likely than not. I never speak in absolute terms. I always speak about probabilities, and I never speak in absolute terms. But Microsoft below 414 looks more than a short than it looks like a long. And if we take a look at the market structure of Mr. Softy, let me see, MSFT, what do we see here? And depends on who takes the first successful ride in the robo-taxi. Good Bunny says, yeah. I think that later on down the road, guys, I think that the most convenient situation for Tessie when it comes to the robo-taxi network is going to be partnering up with Uber or with Lyft. I don't know, something like that. They shouldn't be running that new business model on their own, in my opinion. And I think Elon is a smart dude, guys. He will probably, in my opinion, end up doing that. He will be partnering it up with Uber, and that's it. And he's gonna get a cut out of every robo-taxi ride that is scheduled on the Uber app. But well, we'll see about that. Take a look at the market structure of Microsoft, guys. Again, on top of this chart, you guys can see the demand, buyers, and at the bottom, the supply or sellers. Take a look at the demand. It is collapsing. Buyers are nowhere to be found in minor time frames in the case of Mr. Softy. The supply is also going down, but you never want to see the demand going down. This is not a good looking market structure chart. So below 414, I am grabbing puts of Microsoft. Okay, so what else do we have here? Let me see. Can you cover Apple? Latoya is asking. Of course I can. AAPL. There you go. Let's go over Apple. So it went down today 0.22% and it closed the trading session at $229.04. It is a good looking chart, guys. Above all the moving averages, the trend is your friend until what? The trend is your friend until when, guys? Until when? Until she throws your shit out the window. So this is a very good looking chart, guys. Above all the moving averages, above the 5-day moving average. So as long as the bulls remain trading above $226, so above the 5-day moving average, I think that we have a potential test of $232 coming up, more likely than not. $232 Apple failed back on, this was September 30th, also back on September 20th, and also back on August 29th. Big level of resistance. But I think that the retest of $233 approximately is coming up more likely than not, guys. Or we can make a case here, guys, that we have two important moving averages very close from each other. Take a look at the white line. This is the 5, and the pink line happens to be the 20. So this creates some sort of support zone, let's just put it that way, between 226.45 and $225.50. Say again, and we don't know, guys. The VIX has been going up. Maybe we see a bit of volatility in the upcoming trading sessions. And mind you, guys, and I didn't say this in the case of the SPY because I don't have a crystal ball. I would be very surprised. It can happen, but I would be very surprised. I'm not seeing at least a 5% drop, guys, in the SPY and the Qs into the election day. That would be jaw-dropping, guys. And how many days are we from the election, guys? We are like, I don't know, we are like what? Like 25 days away from the election? I would be very surprised, guys, if we don't see at least a tiny drop of, I don't know, 5% into the election day. That would be, again, jaw-dropping. But I don't know. I am not going to be guessing a top in the markets or in Apple or in Nvda. And I need to trade the shorts that I have in front of me. So the short in front of me tells me that above the 5-day moving average, above 226, we have a potential test of $233 coming up. But over here, and circling back to what I was just about to tell you guys, we have some sort of support zone between the 5 and the 20-day moving average. So between $226.50 and $225.50. It is a $1 zone. And take a look at how $225, guys, acted as support. This was back in late September, and this is also a previous resistance back from early September. So say that we see volatility in the markets and the Qs start to go down, and I don't know, the people, the media start to make up that the markets are freaking out because this or that happened. You guys get the idea. If Apple breaks $225.50 to the downside, we can see a test of $223, which happens to be a level that coincides with the 50-day moving average, or why not? Over here, a bit below the 50-day moving average, we have a former level of support at $220. So I would be willing to short Apple if $225.50 is broken to the downside, and above $226.50, guys. This technical chart looks super bullish, and it's signaling that potentially we have higher prices coming up for Apple, more likely than not. If we take a look at anchor VWAPs in the case of Apple, there is not really much to say here, guys, because Apple is pretty much trading near all-time highs. So we didn't have important levels of overhead supply above the current price of Apple. And take a look at this, guys. An anchor VWAP that comes from the all-time highs of Apple. Keep in mind that Apple hit $236 back in mid-July, signals as of now $222.50. So we don't have pretty much any buyer trapped above the current price of Apple, and that implies that the risk in the case of Apple as of now is to the upside, guys. And let me see, guys, take a look, 222. So the anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs, I think that coincides. Let me see. 200, take a look. There are no accidents nor coincidences. $222, guys, pretty much coincides with this previous support that acted as such back on October 8th. So Apple pulls back and pretty much found support right at the anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs and that I just showed you guys. So this is a potential level of support in case that $225.50 happens to be broken to the downside. And lastly, let's take a look at the market structure of Apple to see what we find here. AAPL, let's see. So the Apple, come on, bro, pull up. AAPL, there you go, okay. So let's take a look at the demand and the supply of Apple here. And take a look, the demand is flat, not going up, but not going down either. And the supply is kind of going down, guys. So we can reconcile this technical chart with, this market structure chart with this 4-hour chart in which we're starting to see the 5-day moving average starting to rise. So this is, in other words, this is a technical chart that is under the control of buyers, and that as of now, and again in normal market conditions, because I am expecting a bit of downwards pressure into the election day, this is a technical chart that is suggesting more upside rather than downside. Tesla 2300. Yeah, you wish. You never know. Hey, micro tragedy. I took 2 day trades today, guys, with micro tragedy. 2 day trades. And there is a very important level here, guys. And obviously, when I trade MSTR, guys, micro tragedy, and obviously, you guys know that I am joking, right? The name of the company is MicroStrategy. But this could end up being a micro tragedy if Michael Saylor keeps diluting his investors in order to buy Bitcoin. But well, that's a story for another live stream, guys. Okay, so what's the level that I have been keeping an eye on in order to trade micro tragedy, guys? Here it is, 181. Take a look. I'm gonna draw a line here, guys. It acted as support today. This is the level that I am keeping an eye on, guys. 181. I grabbed one collapsion of MSTR today near 9:45 a.m. once I saw MSTR bouncing back up from 181, and then into the closing bell I did it again, guys. Into the closing bell, actually MSTR broke 181 to the downside, but immediately after that, buyers stepped in and were able to recapture this level, 181. So I'm gonna try to trade this ticker tomorrow once again, and mostly if we happen to have another narrow ranging trading session in the SPY. So I would be looking for consolidation above this white line, the 5-day moving average. So with consolidation above 185, I might be grabbing some calls, or if I happen to see another retest of 181, and if I happen to confirm that MSTR is finding support over there, I could be grabbing collapsions once again. And by the way, guys, every single time that I trade this ticker, I keep an eye on what? What do you think? I keep an eye on Bitcoin. You cannot trade micro tragedy without making sure that Bitcoin isn't going down. That's critical. This is pretty much a leverage play of Bitcoin in the stock market. So that's a factor that I mainly monitor before taking a trade on micro strategy. And if I pull up, this is a 15-minute chart. If I pull up a 4-hour chart, guys, this is a very good looking chart. Above all the moving averages, all of the moving averages are upward sloping. So above 181, I am in. If I happen to confirm that Bitcoin isn't going down, and also above the 5-day moving average. Below 181, guys, I don't know. Below 181, this is a momentum stock, guys. You need to trade micro tragedy when you can tell that this stock has good momentum. What do I mean by good momentum, guys? So today the markets weren't doing anything, guys. Nothing. The SPY, the Qs, trading within a narrow range. And MSTR was up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. So that's trading on good momentum. Okay? And yeah, that's it. And there goes your analysis of MSTR, which is a ticker that they traded today on 2 occasions, actually. And yeah, take a look. Let me draw a line here, guys. Take a look. So 181, I forgot to tell you this. Take a look. $181 is a previous resistance back from late July. That's why this spot or this level is important for MSTR. 181. Let me see if I can. Let me pull up here some anchor VWAPs. I don't look at any anchor VWAPs when I'm trading MSTR, guys. Because this is, MSTR just, this is a stock that pretty much is tracking BTC all day long. So, but take a look, guys. And this is not the all-time highs, right? Is it? Wow, this is the all-time highs. Take a look. Wow. So an anchor VWAP that comes from the all-time highs of MSTR or micro tragedy, as I say, tells us that the average market participant that started a position on micro tragedy when this stock hit all-time highs back, this was back in late March at $198. As of now, that average market participant has an average price of $147. Is this positive or negative, guys, for MSTR? Let me ask you this. So, think about this, guys. The average market participant that started a position on MSTR at its highest level or price ever has an average price of $147. This implies that for the most part, guys, every single person that ever started a position on micro tragedy is making money as of now. That's bullish, super bullish. And that implies in practical terms that we don't have important levels of overhead supply above the current price of MSTR that could be potentially acting as levels of resistance. It's bullish. It's bullish. Okay, let me take a look at the market structure of MSTR while I take a sip of Sprite here. Guys, believe it or not, once I am done streaming for you guys, I gotta make a video in Spanish. It's terrible. Yeah, Thursdays are super long days for me. Like super long days for me. I got it from 3 p.m. and on. I really have to run the extra mile. It's hard. Really. Excuse me. And you guys know that by this time of the day, I already streamed for my group in my live room during 7 hours. So at this time of the day, I'm super tired. Take a look at the market structure of MSTR, guys. Again, demand on top of the chart and supply at the bottom of the chart. Take a look at the demand, guys. It is through the F roof. The supply is starting to rise, but forget it, guys. The level of the supply doesn't stand a chance relative to the level of the demand. So above 181, I think we have higher prices coming up for MSTR. Let's talk about momentum, guys. So micro tragedy basically tracks Bitcoin. But take a look at this, guys. Bitcoin, as of now, is, let me see, BTC is 20% of the highs. You know, the underlying asset that MSTR is pretty much tracking. And if you take a look at MSTR, this is pretty much at an all-time highs, guys. It is a beast, but it is a risky stock, guys, because you guys know Bitcoin. It is super volatile. So whenever you're trading MSTR, the let's say the greatest risk that you run is, you know, having Bitcoin dumping a lot all of a sudden. That could happen, you know. That would affect the trade, obviously. But, or maybe the opposite can happen. Maybe you're trading MSTR and I don't know, some news, you know, some news comes out and BlackRock is buying more Bitcoin and Bitcoin explodes to the upside. You guys get the point, right? Not a problem, guys. Of course, I am always here to help. Okay, is Microsoft a good buy for the long term? It depends on your time horizon, bro. Yay. The valuation of Microsoft as of now is expensive. But this company is going nowhere, and I think that it will keep growing. Can you buy Microsoft at a better price? Probably. Yeah. For the long term, I mean. But this is a stock that is trading with a very rich valuation, guys. Let me show you quickly. Now that you're asking, I love fundamental analysis, guys. So in the case of Mr. Softy, let's take a look at some multiples. So we're looking at a market cap of $3.10 trillion. Unbelievable. Microsoft trades with a P ratio of 35. So Microsoft trades at 35 last 12 months earnings. or last 12-month earnings. 35 times. Take a look at the forward P ratio. Microsoft trades at 35 times its forward 12-month earnings. 31 times. And take a look at the price to sales, guys. 12. So this company has a market cap of $3.10 trillion. That equals 13 times Microsoft's last 12 months revenue. It is a very rich valuation. It is an amazing company, guys. It is still growing. Microsoft is supposed to be one of the big winners of artificial intelligence. That might be the case, but the valuation is super rich over here. So that implies, guys, that if you want to start a long-term position here, you have to be willing to, at some point, be under the water. If you want to invest in Microsoft, say for the next 10 or 20 years, you're very likely to be good 5, 10, or 20 years out. But as of now, you have a very rich valuation, and that implies that that this stock is priced to perfection. If any bad news comes out, Microsoft is going to take a hit. For sure. But when it comes to the commercial execution of the company, it is outstanding, guys. Take a look. Let me show you. But despite the fact that this company has an outstanding, and I gotta emphasize that, guys, an outstanding commercial execution, the valuation is expensive. Take a look. And Microsoft has a 15% year-over-year revenue growth. Impressive, guys. 15% year-over-year revenue growth. We're talking about a company that has a market cap of $3 trillion. Impressive. Take a look at the revenue, guys. It is at all-time highs. Take a look at the revenue growth. Quarter over quarter. Impressive, guys. What a company. Unbelievable. Take a look at the net income, guys. At all-time highs, pretty much. We can make a case that the net income is kind of, that the net income isn't growing as fast relative to the revenue. But this is a company that on its last earnings report, this is a company that on its last quarter made a net income of $22 billion. Unbelievable, guys. Crazy. Take a look at the profit margin, guys. 34%. The average profit margin of the tech sector usually oscillates between 20 and 30%. And we are talking about smaller companies than Microsoft. And this company with a market cap of $3 trillion or above $3 trillion has a profit margin of 34%. Unbelievable. It is a great company, guys, but the valuation is expensive. Take a look at this. Let's take a look at the ratios. Take a look at the P ratio, guys. Let me use the annual. Let me see. Look, as of now, Microsoft is pretty much showing us the P ratio. Here it is. Look at this. The highest P ratio since 2015. Take a look. Pretty much. 35. In 2018 it was at 43, but it corrected. It went down. It went down to 25. The valuation is expensive. And despite the fact that the commercial execution of the company has been outstanding, the company is priced to perfection. So if you want to start a position in Microsoft over here, you have to be willing to be holding the bag. Eventually, it could happen. That might not be the case, but it is a possibility. Okay, any thoughts on Supermicro Computer? Sure, let's go over Supermicro. SMCI. You guys know that I am not a trader of downtrends. So this is not a stock that I am willing to trade as of now. I have been grabbing puts on SMCI. And guess what, guys? On Tuesday, I got an unusual call options alert on Supermicro. And I ended up grabbing some calls. And I made some money out of it. But, case in point, this stock went down today 1.73%. And it closed the trading session at $46.47. This is not a good looking short. Below the 200, below a downward sloping 100-day moving average. And take a look at the 50-day moving average. And I have been telling you guys that the slope of a moving average is super important. Super important. Take a look at the slope of this green line, guys, of this 50-day moving average. It is what? Downward sloping. It is putting downwards pressure over super microcomputer. So SMCI had a very nice day recently, 3 days ago, and take a look at the spot at the level that the bulls were unable to recapture. The downward sloping 50 DMA. This was not a coincidence, guys. There are no accidents nor coincidences. So this is a big level of resistance, guys. This downward sloping 50 DMA, you guys are looking at $49.30, but we can make a case that this is a major downtrend. Take a look. Obviously, this is a major downtrend, but we can also make a case here that since the 5-day moving average is starting to rise, buyers have started to show up in minor time frames here. Okay, this doesn't imply that SMCI is out of the woods. This company still has to clarify what is going on with their 10K, with their accounting. They haven't done it yet. That is still pending for a super microcomputer. But in minor time frames, buyers have started to show up. So the 5-day moving average as of now is signaling $45.50. So a process of consolidation above the 5 DMA could be signaling another potential test of the downward sloping 50 DMA at $49.30. That could be the case. Since this is a broken short in major time frames, I would not touch SMCI trading below the 5 DMA. So I would be very careful. I would stay away from SMCI below the 5 DMA, so below $45.50, and a process or a further process of consolidation above the 5 DMA, because we can make the case that the bulls defended that level today, is signaling in the right direction and could be potentially signaling once again that the bulls are gathering momentum in order to try to make another attempt, another test of the downward sloping 50 DMA at $49.35. That could be the case. So a no touch below $45.60. And yeah, let's see if this stock can fill this gap to the upside once again. And if SMCI can take out and trade above the 50 DMA, if that were the case, the 5 DMA is going to keep upward sloping, which would be very positive, and that would also help the 20 DMA to upward slope a bit more. So a process of consolidation above the 50 DMA, guys, above $49.40 would be certainly bullish for Supermicro. Let me see some anchor VWAPs over here to see if we see something interesting. In the case of SMCI, let's see and take a look. So again, there are no accidents nor coincidences, guys. Take a look at this anchor VWAP, this anchored volume weighted average price line, guys. That comes from where? Take a look. From the last earnings report of SMCI. Take a look at the level that this anchor VWAP is signaling, guys. $48. Let me see. No, $48.50. So this anchor VWAP, guys, coincides with the downward sloping 50 DMA. So it would be a major bullish development in minor time frames, seeing SMCI consolidating above both the downward sloping 50 DMA plus the anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs. So a process of consolidation above $49.40, guys, would be very bullish, and I would be keeping an eye on it. And yeah, above $45.50, I think that we have another potential test of this level, $49 coming up more likely than not. And if we take a look at the market structure of SMCI, what do we see here, guys? Super microcomputer. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see. So we are 54 minutes in, guys. How about that, huh? Okay. Okay, the market structure doesn't look good. So this reinforces my theory that SMCI is an absolute no touch below the 5 DMA. Take a look at the demand. it collapsed. The supply is starting to go down, which is positive in minor time frames, but I need to see the demand picking up, guys, which isn't the case as of now. So a short, in my opinion, below 45.56, but consolidating above $45.50, I think that, 50 cents, sorry, I think that we might see higher prices coming up for super micro, more likely than not. Chipotle, well, I haven't taken a look at Chipotle in quite some time, guys. CMG. It went up today 0.69%, and it closed the session at $58.33. It is an interesting looking short. Let me see. Yeah, above all the moving averages, guys. But Chipotle has been failing at consolidating and bursting above $59. We can make the case. So the bulls failed at $59 back on September 26th, and they also failed at that level back on September 17th. So, sorry, let me zoom out here. Yeah, the bulls are trading above the 100, the 5 and the 20-day moving average here, guys. So this is a bullish development. As of now, Chipotle is trading above all the moving averages. This is suggesting, guys, from a technical standpoint, that if the bulls of Chipotle can recapture $59 and consolidate above that level, we have more likely than not higher prices coming up for CMG, in which case the next important level would be a previous level, or the next important gap to the upside that could be potentially getting filled would be this previous level of resistance at $63. Why do I see? Hold, guys. Oh, yeah. Okay. This. Remove drawing. Let me draw. Okay, hold. I didn't draw that line correctly. There you go. Okay. So yeah, above $59, guys, the door opens for a potential test of a previous level of resistance at $64 approximately. And as of now, Chipotle, and as I just said, is trading above all the moving averages. This is bullish, guys. Yeah, we just need to see buyers showing a bit more of a strength by bursting above $60 approximately. I got yen calls at $51. Keep holding, yes. Oh yeah, I like it. The short is suggesting more upside, Ocean Goose. And if Chipotle, and by the way, guys, I'm going to put Chipotle on a sticky note. I like this technical short. If this stock consolidates above $60, I think that we have higher prices coming up here. So CMG, thanks for the call out, bro. I love it. I like it. Yeah. Let me take a look at anchor VWAPs in the case of CMG. Let me see. Chipotle. Oh, take a look, bro. Again, there are no accidents nor coincidences. Take a look at this, Ocean Goose. I cannot be making this up. An anchor VWAP. So an anchored volume weighted average price line, an a VWAP that comes from none other than the all-time highs of Chipotle, guys. Chipotle hit $69 back in, I don't know, like mid-June or so. Okay, that anchor VWAP is signaling as of now, guys, you won't believe this, $58. Unbelievable. So that's the reason why, the bulls weren't able to burst above $59. Why? Because these market participants that are trapped on Chipotle ever since this stock hit $69, they have been dumping their shares every single time that Chipotle hits $59. It is very clear, guys. Take a look. But whenever Chipotle bursts above $69, Chipotle is going to be getting rid of most of the very important levels of overhead supply above the current price of the stock. So in my opinion, guys, above $59, this is a major bullish development, and this could be opening the door for a test of $64. Big level here for Chipotle, guys. $59 approximately. And lastly, if we take a look at the market structure of Chipotle, what do we see here? CMG. Let me see. I should have Chipotle available here, right? I should. Chipotle, yeah, there it is. Do you guys go to Chipotle very often? Let me see. Take a look. The demand is flat, not going up or down, which is good. But take a look at the supply. It's going down, guys. So the demand is stable, good, but sellers are walking away from the stock in minor time frames. Above $60, this stock is a buy, in my humble opinion. Okay, guys, we are an hour in. I gotta wrap it up. I still need to film a video. And we went over a bunch of stocks today, guys. A bunch. Guys, in the case of Tesla, and I know that I didn't go over Tesla, don't worry about it. Let's see what happens today with the stock. Tesla is a stock that usually drops after any event, after the presentation of any product or whatever Elon makes up. You can call it, the way you prefer. The battery day, the robo-taxi day, the Cybertruck event, whatever, guys. The Elon Musk praise event, whatever. Tesla, it would be very weird if Tesla doesn't go down today. It could happen. Maybe today is the exception to the rule. But let's wait to see what the reaction of the markets looks like today. And I will probably be letting you guys know tomorrow in Discord the most important levels of support and resistance in the case of Tesla. As of now, this is a coin flip, so we don't need to waste a lot of time from carrying out a technical analysis of Tesla, because we have a very important event tonight, and Tesla has always guys has always dropped after the presentation of whatever Tesla introduces to the world. And well, we'll see. Maybe today is the exception to the rule. Maybe Elon is able to pull a rabbit out of the hat today. You never know. I don't think so, but you never know. We'll see about that. Guys, I really got to go. I need to film a video and stuff. So thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I will see you guys on Discord. Thank you. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, okay? Bye-bye. Thanks. Take care, guys.